We are in a different set here because we're actually going live for the very first time. We're in San Antonio. The whole team came out to Texas. We've been having a ton of fun, and I'm super excited for this episode because it's the first time we've ever done one live, but we're also joined by a really special guest. So let's pan out Jesus. Let's introduce everybody who we have for the podcast today. We're joined by the one and only Nick Legamaro.
Boom. We're like we're in the hookah lounge over here.
We are. What's up, man? Hey, it's been awesome because you've been hanging out with us the past couple of days.
Yeah,
we had a ton of fun. Like, I guess, how has your experience been? And like, how are you doing and all that good stuff?
Dude, we're just crushing. I mean, the market's just red hot right now, you know?
Yes.
And we just spent, what did we see? 10 houses in the last 2 days?
Yes.
And they're all potential deals, man.
Yeah.
It's like
here in Texas.
Texas where to be, right? So I'd be curious to see how they all pan out, but that's what we're here for.
I tell you what, when you initially told me, it's like, look, I won't touch anything that's not in Texas. Well, I was like, shoot, I gotta go do deals in Texas. And it's just crazy how the market's turned in a way that finally it's easier for us to find these opportunities. You know, other things have changed a little bit, but I've been super excited to put these deals together in Texas, mostly because I would have never been here if you would never told me, like, hey, you should be in Texas doing these deals.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people don't realize just the seller carry market, which is what we do. That's what wrap mortgages are and everything we acquire. It's $30 billion a year now, man.
30 billion.
That's billion with the B. I have to ask Siri, hey, Siri, how many zeros are in a billion? I don't even know.
Zero.
But with that said, 22% of that $30 billion industry is right here in the state of Texas.
I had no idea. 22% of 30
of all the seller financing is in the state of Texas.
Jeez.
Now that's residential, that's commercial,
that's everything.
Land,
yeah.
But it's a big state.
That's how you guys do it down here.
30 million people.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yep.
That's just how it goes. Well, it's been great to have you. We also got introduced. We're joined by Trey. Freaking, what's up, Trey Rodham? How are you, brother? Give everybody. This is the first time you've been on an episode.
This is the first time.
Yeah. Bring that camera up. Not the camera. Bring the mic up a little closer. But
hello.
Yeah, bring it up like you're gonna kiss it.
What I do?
And tell everybody a little bit about you, Trey. How do we know each other?
Man, Matt and I have been on such a journey, and to be here now doing
journey is an understatement.
Yeah, understatement. No, man, I'm just super happy to be here. Being in Texas right now, we're actually looking. Matt and I, we purchased.
We own houses together.
4 houses in the past 2 months.
Yes.
And so put my hands on the real estate, get my hands dirty out
here. Get your hands on the real estate,
making it real.
It don't seem real when it's through the computer, does it?
At all. You know, we're talking over the phone, put money together, getting these deals done, and you know, it's kind of like, oh, it's cool, you know, but when you see it,
dude, we had actually. This is even cooler because we had never actually seen each other in person,
right?
Other than that one time,
right?
Like 2.5 years ago.
I know.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Oh, coming full circle.
And
we're doing more. The first
Dude's
time
a giant, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little deceptive on the screen. He's pretty tall.
All you see is his face, like on a Zoom.
That's honestly, it's the reason why we're all on this couch and chair, because like we can't stand up and do this. Yeah.
I feel like I'm 4 years old. I feel like I'm 4 years old. I'm just sitting there.
Yeah, no, it's been a ride, and it's cool to see like where we've come.
Yeah.
When we first met, I was in a freaking mastermind.
Yeah.
Learning from you, and here we are now doing deals together. Working together, doing all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited to be here.
Dude, love it. We're grateful to have you, man.
Appreciate
Thanks for being here. And then of course, it would not be a Freaky Friday episode if we did not have Terrence Beard.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Terry?
What up?
You've kind of had a hell of a trip.
Hell of a 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The boy has been under the weather, as you guys know, from last week, and we battled to get out here.
Yeah.
The flight was shitty. I hate flying.
How was the flight in?
How's the flight in?
The flight terrible. Flight was awful. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I don't fly very often. And of course, when I do, some shit's got to go down.
Right.
And that's just the way it works. Luckily for us, it was only about an hour and 45-minute flight.
It was one of probably the roughest flights I've ever been on, because it was 40-mile-an-hour winds when we left. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Literally the plane.
So that was cool. And then we got in town. It's been a lot of fun though. San Antonio's been fun. Austin was fun. Get to see one of my buddies from my childhood friend Haven't seen him in like 2 years, so that was cool.
Michael Brown,
shout out.
Michael Brown.
Hey, before we really get into the not so serious stuff, let's talk about something really, really important. How was Buc-ee's?
I've never seen so. I didn't. Know,
what
it
is
was
that
like
place?
You
a
count the
myth.
gas pumps?
I couldn't.
Crazy.
How many
Too
gas
many.
That
pumps?
place was crazy.
Was it? I don't know. Was it 40 maybe?
Well,
I
probably
FaceTimed
100.
my girlfriend when
Yeah.
I was in there, and they have a whole bakery, they have pottery, they have signs. There's a full-size truck in the store.
In the store.
It's a gas station.
Like, what is this
How many,
place? Like,
how many
honestly,
stalls are in the restroom?
I don't know. I left my key in
It's
one
crazy.
of them.
I got lost in the
Li-
bathroom.
There's so many-
literally, there's so many open stalls.
They had to put
I
lights
go
on there,
and
right?
I-
Because you take 20 minutes to figure out when one was open or not. So they got red light, green light.
Right. So I went and I peed, but I
Crazy.
left the truck key in one of the stalls, and I got out, washed my hands, and went to leave. And I'm like, oh crap, I left my key, and I walked back in, and they're all vacant except for the one that I left my key in.
And he was in there for a minute.
And he was in there for like 20 minutes.
He was
camped
laying the
out
hammer
with my
down.
keys.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
reach over the stove.
Yeah. So I was like snapping. I kind of like jiggled the door a little bit.
It was so big. I went outside. I went to the car. I had thought I'd been in there way longer than all of you because I was just like
Mhm.
amazed. You guys were over there getting fudge and hanging out still.
Hey, I didn't partake. I did get a cookie though.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
You
I
have
got-
to. You
I
have
got
to. They have
fudge,
so
okay,
much.
okay. It's cool.
How's that beef jerky though?
really good.
Yeah,
All the
Really
stuff.
good. I don't know. Bucky's craziest thing. I've heard about it. Now
Must
I've
do.
seen it. I had the experience. Now I'm
Yeah.
spoiled.
It's
Yeah, it's a
fun.
bucket
Yeah.
list right there.
Yeah. I don't know. Texas, this has been great.
It's been fun.
You know, I think so we landed on Wednesday. Immediately we got to work, so literally after an hour after we landed, we had to meet Patty. So Patty showed us a cash deal.
Walked the cash
That was right here in Tobin Hill,
literally
right,
like
Mike?
a mile away.
Yeah, Tobin Hill.
Yep.
And that was really cool because the ARV on that property supposedly is in the 500s. Patty, we trust you.
510.
510. And we're going to try to get it for 230. Now this house needs everything. Super old. So we know, that's going to be,
like a historic
it's not something I'm going to flip,
district. Yeah.
but it will be something for someone else probably.
Right.
So easy
That was
deal.
cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Met another agent right across the street.
Literally one street down, we got out the car and I just talked to an agent we had never met before.
Mhm.
You put an offer in that house that's for sale right across the
talked
street?
No,
Yeah,
I actually
something.
talked to that agent.
Did you?
Yeah. I was like, we might as well. So
Well, here's the point, man.
uh-huh.
That might not be the house that you want,
Right.
but she knows maybe where other houses that are like that are.
The cool thing is, so what Nick's saying is, so after we talked to that agent that we got out, he actually called me today. He has some other historic district he wants to send to us. Guys, a stranger that we met while we were here.
Literally
Never met
on the
before.
side of the road.
Met him on the side of the road. Just talked to him. So, and then we're staying in this Airbnb, and right outside the window, Nick's talking about there's this house that has a for sale sign and it's been there long enough for Google Maps to have it. So when that's the case,
The for
yeah,
sale's
yeah.
on Google Maps.
yeah, so it's been there for a while. So I called the agent. She's a little crazy, but she as in like she's like, wow, I could tell.
Sorry,
Like,
we're not recording this anyway.
well, we
Not
are. But when we go meet her, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna meet her tomorrow. But I called her, and she actually works with a lot of investors, and her buyers are typically owner finance buyers. They can't go get qualified, so
Wouldn't
she
you
says
know?
she has plenty of them.
Yes. I'm like, okay.
Yes, exactly. Like literally,
That's what
without
we
me
need.
even asking her. So that was pretty cool.
You'd be surprised how many agents, when you ask them that question,
Yeah,
give you that same answer.
that's pretty cool.
I mean,
Honestly,
it really is. People typically don't think like that, right?
Mhm.
That's the biggest mistake I think most investors make.
Mhm.
They try to put themselves in that position
Mhm.
Yeah.
on what would I do or
Right.
what would I buy or
Right.
Yeah.
how I should fix this house. I
Mhm.
went and lived there, but you're missing the point, right?
You're missing the
You're
point.
missing the opportunity because you know what? Somebody does live there. Somebody will want to live there. Somebody
Yeah.
does need financing, and we can help solve that problem.
And she's from our conversation that we had. So again, guys, just another stranger, never met, called her from her sign out here. From our short conversation, she's like, I've been in real estate for 30 years. Blah, blah, blah. I've done all this stuff. She seems like a go-getter. Like she answered to my first call. Her son was in the back. Hi.
Right, screaming his head off.
Hi.
My mom needs money, please.
Hey, let's do some
She
real
was cool,
estate.
though. Yeah,
She was really cool. And
Then-
that was literally the first day.
No. We're not done with the first day yet.
Okay.
Your boy went to the Alamo. I told y'all we're going to the Alamo.
Yeah,
I walked it. It's pretty mind blowing. I did a 4th grade project on it, so it was kind of like
here's a fun fact.
Surreal.
Fun fact: Buc-ee's is bigger than the Alamo.
Is it really?
Well,
I know.
No, but
Yeah, I know.
seems
I know.
like it seems like
close.
Is it?
It blew my mind how we like pulled up and like hopped out and we're like,
Literally the
We're
Alamo.
at
The Alamo's small. Really,
It is.
yeah,
I don't know how they defended that thing for as long as they did.
yeah,
It is not big.
It's not big at all.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then we went to Riverwalk.
Maybe it was just a
First
mass
time.
mismanagement.
They didn't get the memo.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, it was pretty cool. Like,
it was awesome.
the Alamo, and then like you toughed through it because you were not in good shape.
Yeah, yeah. So finally got some medicine, got some steroids in me, got me good to go.
Yes,
but
sir.
Yeah,
we went and got some Brazilian steakhouse that night.
Yeah, I
and
gotta
that
like
was it.
that.
yeah, it was great. Got some
Yeah.
Brazilian,
Oh.
hung out. Weather was good.
It was chill.
Oh, but they had that like great limeade stuff.
Yo, I don't know what they put in that drink, but it was crazy.
If you've
was
never
good.
had any like Brazilian limeade, you need to get some.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
We had like
Worth-
4 pictures of it.
Yeah, we did.
So-
Kind of ran up the bill on that one, and I was
Whoops.
the one who took on the bill.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the boss, man. You're the reason why we're here.
You're the
So-
boss, man.
Gotta buy the limeade.
Yeah,
That's
gotta
it.
buy the limeade. So
But yeah, that was cool.
yeah, and again, that was all the first day. So that was fun. Shout out Mike for making it happen, showing us around the town. Mike is the
Hey, Mike,
I can see
He's
Mike.
our liaison.
Yeah, he's our liaison. He's gonna be like 70 years old one day and
Yeah.
move back to San Antonio to be like a historic.
He's like, man,
yeah.
that's a new stoplight.
They did.
That stoplight was not here when I was here last.
When I
Man,
used to go
that's
to,
back in
I used to go to college right here in the
That's a new
stoplight.
sign.
We used to have to jaywalk every time.
He had a story for every turn.
Yeah, he knows the city very well. But in Austin yesterday is where we met up with Nick.
First property.
He was a little out of his element because like
Yeah.
these aren't my streets. I don't know.
These are not
Oh, well,
my
we
street.
showed up first.
Yeah.
Walk up. Tell him like, yeah, so I'm Terry. He goes, so you guys live here? I'm like, I'm Matt's brother.
Yeah.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you
Yeah.
don't usually wear a hat.
No.
That's what threw me off.
Yeah, for sure.
Where the hat
So,
was different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
I was like,
different.
so I live in Arizona. I'm Matt's brother. We work together. But that was cool. So we went and walked that property. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Austin yesterday because that was really cool. So we flew into town and we drove up to Austin. We met with Nick yesterday, and we're gonna have like a ton of stuff coming out on that. But we basically spent a whole day with that agent.
Literally the whole day.
Yeah.
Well, from 12:30 to like 7.
I think you learned a lot of stuff from Nick.
Yeah.
Well, I think I will tell you this. I don't know about that, but
Uh-huh.
it was amazing because he was a pretty sharp dude. Would
Yeah,
you agree? Right?
yeah,
I mean, I didn't think
100%.
so.
Yeah.
I know a lot of agents that it's like,
Yeah, they don't want to hear it.
no.
Yeah,
But this guy, but before you showed up the house up in Pflugerville,
yeah.
he goes, I don't understand why you would be interested in this house.
Yeah.
Right. And then you guys show up, and
Mhm.
20 minutes later, he goes, I
get it.
now I get it.
Uh-huh.
Now I know what to go look for, because again, he's putting his own self in this position, either from being a buyer's agent or a listing agent,
Right.
not being our agent, right? On what we can do.
Yes.
And that's the challenge
Yes.
like this, is that you got to be able to sort of hold their hand and help them understand how we create opportunities basically out of thin air.
100%. Because like we're not doing stuff that just fits in that cookie cutter box.
Yeah.
And when they're used to dealing with 99% of their transactions being from people who are just buying a home, or your investor who's using a conventional loan just to buy another home, just to buy and hold, this is so different.
Yeah.
And like we definitely educated him a lot on our first transaction. The one that didn't even work out,
Mhm.
he learned a lot, but I think he learned way more, way faster by hanging out with us yesterday, because the one in Pflugerville that we're talking about here is like, that didn't have any equity.
Nope.
And moving
Negative
forward,
equity.
He's gonna
Yeah.
bring deals when he knows about them now, because now he's.
Mhm.
I think when we do a lot of the negotiation thing, my
Mhm.
first goal is to not only get the agent on board, but to make them understand exactly
Right.
what I'm trying to do, and to make them understand why. I even tell them, like I say, peek behind the curtain,
Mhm.
why I'm trying to get this property like this, right? As I mean, 123 Elm Street, we get it. That's awesome. That would be great. But I want the agent to understand exactly what I'm trying to do So when we go to present it to the clients, they have no questions. They present it with a full head of steam. They're not like, man, I don't know about this offer, but here it is, kind of style.
Well, you
stuff,
you have to sell the agent.
Yeah.
When you sell the agent, not by the information, but by building rapport with them to be like, okay, I trust these guys, and I think even though I don't know how to like pitch this perfectly, they're going to give it a shot.
And there's so many times that I have conversations with clients and agents where I'm pitching it and he's pitching it with me, and it's 2v1 at this point.
Right.
Like I'm saying something and the agent goes, yes, so this is a really good spot here because of X, Y, and Z. Like, he's backing me
100%.
And he's not my agent.
They just want to get paid.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Pflugerville for a second. Yeah. So you found that house, right? Who found that house? Did it come from the agent?
It came from the list we pulled.
Yeah.
Right?
So
and how many days was that on market or is on market?
It was
165. Now, I don't know what the days on market are in Pflugerville, but I can tell you the average days on market are not 165 days.
Right.
Okay. It's probably maybe 30 right now.
100%.
And that's extremely high.
Yeah.
So when you call that listing agent, and they probably have had crickets for the last 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
3 months.
And they've had other investors and jokers and people who are talking about sub 2 and stuff that pull their leg, and waste their time.
But you got to, when you get in front of them and you can actually present something of value, you can explain the opportunity. They're all ears, because guess what they've been doing for the last 160 days? Dealing with a bunch of people that haven't done a deal. If they don't get a deal done, they don't get paid.
100%.
They do not get paid. They don't make a nickel.
And I feel like when you get that far into a listing, you're kind of getting reserved to the fact that, hey, this is probably not going to sell. And we're going to have to figure out, like, are we okay losing money every month if we just rent it out?
And honestly, with that one in particular, somebody tried to pitch subject to them and their clients like 40 days ago, slaughtered it, did a terrible job. Damn near turned them off to the whole idea because they didn't really understand what to do and how to pitch it. So then that's what I was doing today when I was at lunch. I got
damage control.
Damage control.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I think a big thing too is too many people try and do it all at once. So like when they're talking to an agent and they're talking to a seller, they're trying to get both to understand exactly why it benefits the seller. But you understand, like, the agent is your best friend. They're the ones that matter more than anything because they have the trust already with the seller. The seller's going to go where the agent goes.
Yeah, so they're the gatekeeper, right?
You understand how to actually work with the agent, get them to, hey, we're going to get you money.
For sure.
That's their focus. Is their
commission. I never, ever recommend talking to a client and agent together for the first time.
100%.
Never. Because guess what? They're all going to have questions, and it's going to be spitfire. One question, next question, next question. I don't believe in this. Why is this?
But it's the agent that's got to look high and mighty with their client online, right? Being like, oh, they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't do that. Yeah. So
you answer all those questions when it's just the agent, right? Because I mean, just like what with Patty, we always talk about it. The first conversation we had with Patty was, we are a fake made up company and a bunch of scammers. Okay, let's go from that. Why is that the case, Miss Patty? What's your questions? And you have to slowly chip away at it.
Yeah.
Right. Disarm.
And I didn't talk to her. We didn't even talk to her. We didn't even talk numbers or about negotiations or wanting to talk to her client till like after the 5th conversation, because I knew it wasn't ready to go there yet. You got to know when it's time to go. And I was just honestly just trying to dig. I mean, she was a tough one to crack, and it took a while.
Sure did.
And some of them, sometimes
we wouldn't do that house today.
So let's fast forward 100 conversations later or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now what is Patty?
She's hugging us,
hugging
she's
you.
sending us properties.
You're her best friend.
Honestly, she has talked to like literally 6 or 7 different other agents, and it's like, because she's kind of a figurehead in City View. She's our best reference. She'll tell them about exactly what the process looks like. She goes to bat for us with so many people now in this area. She's awesome. So we have a couple agents that are A1 kind of agents right now.
But I will say, like, also this approach, we said it before, it exposes people who aren't actually doing business,
right?
Because you can go. The whole purpose of this is going creating relationships with agents. But if you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right. If you cancel your contracts and you back out, you just ruin the whole point of the whole thing. You ruin the relationship.
Not only that, even worse is they're going to go and tell the next person, be like, it's like a double fold. They're going to tell the next person, like, well, this person fell out of contract, blah, blah, blah. He's a joker. But it also ruins for the next guy to slide in, like he was saying, damage control earlier, on subject to, on creative financing, on the whole process. I just got wasted 30 days, 45 days. They extended, blah, 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 blah. just for it to fall out of contract. He's got, whatever. It just puts a sour taste in the mouth. And we always say the whole point of doing this is to find agents, to find us off markets, to bring us stuff to like, well, I know Bob in the office, he has something he can't move. Maybe let's see if this works out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
you gotta do what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And at least with Patty and with Shaman and with Brian and with Amanda.
Honestly, Brian was the easiest one.
Yeah, Brian.
Like,
I was surprised how easy because like the dude was a doctor. Because when we got on the phone, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a doctor. How's it going?" Yeah. So explain this. I didn't know they were gonna go for it that easy. Honestly, he just came back.
When I first talked to Brian, he's kind of like a hard ass agent. Like he was straight to the point. Didn't want to know sweet talking from me. So I was like, okay, well, let's get straight to the numbers. He's never done a creative financing deal. Never done a subject to. He picked on it. He's a smart guy. Picked up on it like that. We moved from that conversation to I talked to the client, got the client on board. Then we and you had a three-way with the client and him. There, he had a couple little, your normal, what does it look like when you don't pay, foreclosure, easy stuff. And they're like, he was like, yep, all right, cool. And that deal came in like a day.
Yeah.
Right. Signed, sealed, delivered.
You take those and you say thank you because you deal with brain damage on the rest of them.
Yep.
Right. Every now and then the universe rewards you for dealing with the other one.
Yeah, for real. And then you get a Patty where it's 3 months of worth of work falling in and
Nick,
out.
have you ever had anything like that? Nick, what's like the longest follow-up you've ever had to do to get a good deal?
Well, that's probably like my biggest Achilles. I don't play those games.
I love it. Nick's like, you're either doing this or not.
The Coast Guard, if you hear when the Coast Guard goes in to save people in the water, they who do they ask, who do you save first? And they always say, we save the person that's swimming towards us, not away from us, not against us. The same thing, right? So if you're a distressed seller or you need my help or our help, you have to come this way. You can't be going the same way that we're going because
you're not going to go
we'll
tug
never get it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just so I've been doing this a long time though, right?
Yeah.
And I've gone through these scenarios, man. And I probably leave a lot of money on the table because I don't have that because I see the fortunes in the follow-up.
But you keep your peace of mind.
Oh my God, that's for darn sure. My favorite one, I was dealing with this sub-2 down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
And the guy is an attorney.
Okay.
And so, he just comes at me like some guy, that has a legal thing. I go, well, you know what? Let me ask you something. How familiar are you with real estate law? How familiar with this? Because, when I hurt my knee and I might have an ACL problem, I don't go to my cardiologist. And they're both doctors, right? Same thing with you. So he was like, I just
want to throw the book and be like, well, this statute based
let's
on
make
this.
This real quick.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to offer you. I know you're an attorney. I'm probably not dumb enough to do something that would allow you to do something back to me.
Right.
Here's the deal. I'm on the phone like 22 minutes. Actually, I did it on a Zoom call. Actually recorded it. This will be fun to get an attorney on this.
Oh my God.
And we did it in like literally 22 minutes. I go, what else do you want to know? We're going to take it over. I want to make your payments for as long as I need to make them. I'm going to pay them on time.
And you got the deal?
Okay, we got the deal.
Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
So that's been a while though.
Oh man. Well, that stuff happens.
20 minutes about my limit.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like with cash deals, it's not that difficult, honestly. Like you have to negotiate. There's definitely a clear dance, and it's way different than creative finance. But with the creative finance stuff, and especially on market, there is a big aspect of having to present it to attorneys. And like a lot of sellers want to get their attorneys involved. Terry, does that ever happen?
All the time.
How do you normally overcome that, or how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, they always want to look at contracts and, honestly, you have so many situations where they put the cart in front of the horse all the time. It's like agents get caught up on.
Before we even go over numbers.
Yeah, before we're even in negotiations, even if this is a good fit for them and their client or yes or no, how am I getting paid on this? What's the three? Where's my fee coming in at, right? What kind of contract? Is your contract legal in my state? Who's going to fill it out? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, and you have to like chip away at all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you can even get down to the nuts and bolts of the actual conversation, and it's just like, oh, I wonder why this house is still on the market for 165 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
they're focused
now
on
you
all
know.
the wrong things.
Right.
Yeah.
So another thing that I do personally is I leverage my title attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So my it depends on where you are, but in the state of Texas, there's either fee offices.
Mm-hmm.
Mine happens to own the title company is owned by the attorney. He's actually works in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And I always just say, look, here's the deal. All this is going to be done just like when you bought the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now you're going to be the seller on the house. It's all going to go through the title company. We're still going to go through proper
You're not
closing.
selling me your house today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just a
And
conversation.
I say, here's what else. The attorney will be handling all this. And if you have any questions regarding any of the documentation that's going to be coming,
Mm-hmm.
he'll be happy to talk to you.
Right.
And very rarely less than 30% of the time, do they even call? Because once they just know that they have that to their ability to go do it, because they're not going to get their own attorney.
Right.
They can't afford
It's
to
like
go
the
get
reference page we send out.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
like, well, who are you guys? You guys, okay. Well, I can send you 5 agents right now. Here's their contact information. Here's their
And
email.
they won't call
This is
any
the
of them.
title company we use. This is, blah, 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 blah. This is the contract. And they're like, all right.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think
they're
it's
just
how,
checking you.
it's how you answer the question.
For sure.
But, and put it back to them and say, oh, that must be important to you. Like,
Right.
did someone like try to screw you over in the past? Do you know about this stuff? Do you know other investors? Blah, 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 like whatever, right? So why is that important? And, get more to the root of the problem.
Right.
But, that's kind of the song and dance. But the fun thing was in Austin, we got a chance to see a lot of properties and we got to educate our agent in the process. I think Tyler's going to be a really cool asset moving forward.
Yep.
Even though, Nick knows more than most in Austin. That's not the best
that
market.
much.
It's not the best market for
tough.
what we try to do.
It's tough,
right?
But there's deals to be had.
There's deals to be had
There's
for sure.
definitely deals.
So,
but just like any deal, right? So you have to understand what you're dealing with, because just because you get a property doesn't mean it's a good wholesale deal. Doesn't mean it's a good fix and flip. Doesn't mean it's good for the bird strategy or a buy and hold. Does not mean it's good for seller finance. You have to understand what that property can yield for you and different things. I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of investors make, is that they try to make one size fit all. Like, I'm a wholesaler. I got to figure out how to get this and make this a wholesale deal.
Right.
So
it's not a wholesale deal.
So how do you know when you have a good wrap deal on your hands?
It's a math equation.
That's
Simple. It's understanding amortization. Okay.
Yes.
And
where can someone go to learn more about that?
Well, just like I tell both my kids, my daughter Alex, I said, "What does Google say?"
Right.
I'm personally like looking at it. Like I go to noteunlimited.com, click on the calculator, and I start playing with that calculator.
100%.
Because you can see what that schedule does over a 30-year period.
I run dual amortization schedules on everything.
Yep.
I run it. What's it going to cost me over here? What am I going to receive over here? What's the impact if I go 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
Nick, how many notes do you think you've done in your career?
I don't know.
Or wraps?
I stopped counting at about 800.
Good Lord.
I stopped counting about 800.
Lots of them.
No, it's honest to God's truth. I stopped.
Yeah.
It's got to be well over 1,000 now.
That's insane.
But I don't know. I really do not know. I could probably figure
Nick
it out.
the note guy.
Yeah.
Nick the note guy.
For real.
Been doing this for a long time.
That's crazy.
It's funny because hey, the old guys are cool now again, because whatever the shit that's going on right now, no one's experienced this stuff.
No, they're not. This is literally the best. Like
sub 2 and potentially short sales again. I mean, most people don't even know what the hell a short sale is, because there hasn't been one.
There hasn't been a need for it. Yeah,
Right.
Very seldom.
5-10 years now, maybe.
Oh my gosh, that's
Crazy.
so insane.
Yeah.
So if someone's thinking about trying to get into this world of notes and wraps, you're saying it's a math equation, but you have so much information out there of like how to evaluate these deals and how to find this, and heck, you even have like your own modeling system. Like where can people go to learn more about that?
Yeah. So we have my partner Eric Sage, and we have the Creative Dealmaker Academy.
Shout out Eric. We love you, Eric.
Rage with Sage, I think that's what he goes by. But so we talk about the structure. What we try to do is sort of I call it like the Mariano Rivera of baseball, right? He was the greatest closer of all time, right? but you never saw him unless he was winning the game and it was deep into the 8th or 9th inning. Right.
So that deal was already way into it.
So something has to get to that point so we can come in and structure it. Right. So same kind of thing. So, what you do on the front side, or some of the other people that are great educators in how to finding the deals. Finding it is one thing. Structuring is something different.
100%.
So we want to be able to take the deal once it's found and look at different structures that from a note perspective, because everything that we do, or everything I personally do, it's all the note is the end game.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
I'm not in the real estate is not what I do.
Yeah, you're in the debt business.
It's the conduit to get me to the note.
Yeah.
And where I see a lot
of
for
people, everybody watching, a note is simply
the promise to pay. It's the mortgage.
Promise to pay.
You go buy a car from a bank, you agree, you sign a promissory note.
Yeah.
Go buy a house from Bank of America, you promise to pay. It's what a promissory note is.
So you have a bunch of promissory notes out to people who say, Nick, I promise I'll pay you X amount of money per month.
Well, that's exactly what it is when you do is if you buy something on a sub-2 or with a wrap, or you create the wrap on the back end, you're creating a note.
And the interesting thing about the note is, so when you're a wholesaler, like the value of your deal is all in how you purchased it on the front end, right? How well you negotiated to get a low price. So the lower you got that price, the more you're going to be able to wholesale and make more money, right? When you're doing a fix and flip, the lower you buy, the more you have on the upside. When you finish the renovations, you're going to have a higher profit. With notes in particular, the structure of the transaction, how you purchase it and the structure of that debt is critical for making sure it's valuable in the future, right?
100%.
Like just for folks that are pretty green to that concept.
So I like using the analogy of we're in Texas, right? Yep. So I'll use the Ford F-150 analogy, right? You have two identical white Ford F-150 pickup trucks, both 2015 build.
Yep.
Both have 100,000 miles, and they're both for sale.
Yep.
One of them has impeccable maintenance records. It's in pristine condition,
clearly been taken care of,
and it looks like it can go another 100,000 miles.
Yep.
The other one's beat the shit. Okay. And from a note buyer, if you're going to be buying that note, because note buyers look at two things. They look at the yield, which is their return on their investment.
Okay?
Which if you buy stocks, you're looking for a return. You have crypto.
100%.
You're looking for something like that. And
not getting much in crypto right now.
No. Yes. How's that treating you these days?
Not great.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about that later. You have what I was saying on this. What was the last thing you said?
Well, you said the yield is like your return on your investment.
So the risk, right? So the risk. Okay. Which one do you have more confidence in continue to perform moving into the future? Right.
I would take the one that has the good maintenance records and is taken care of, because that carries way less risk. So I feel like this truck's going to take me another 10 years.
100%. And you're willing to probably pay a premium for that.
Because 10 years is a long time.
Yeah. And when you're writing a mortgage note, how long are you writing mortgage notes for? Usually 30 years.
Right.
A lot of shit can go down in 30 years. So the quality of the paper, because a lot of times we'll wrap notes and we'll create notes, and then all of a sudden something will happen, man. And you don't even think it's going to happen. Boom. I need money now. I have to get a new car. I need to put my kid in.
That's the best leverage in the world. Like 100%. You have all these notes out that you could always take a loan against.
Yeah, because guess what? It's secured by the asset, the property.
Yeah.
You think when you buy Tesla stock that Elon Musk guarantees your purchase with a couple of Tesla Model S's? No.
I wish.
Hey, Musk, man, your stock, which is down bad, 30-40% since a year and a half ago. Do you think he's saying, no problem? Here's a couple cars that make up your potential loss?
Negative.
Not even going to happen.
Hey, Zeus wants one.
You want one? We'll get you hooked up.
We'll get you hooked up.
Get you in a Tesla.
So the note creation is super important. So regardless of what you do in real estate, if you're going to do anything with the notes, anything whatsoever, you really need to understand what a bank quality note looks like. Okay. And create it that way, regardless of what your intentions are.
Right.
Because best business practices always prevail, right? There's a reason why banks are in the banking business. There's a reason why if you go downtown San Antonio right now, you look up, I guarantee the biggest buildings have banks.
Are the banks.
Because they learned a long time ago how to control real estate, not own it. Okay.
Yep.
They can still generate cash flow by controlling it through the note.
You don't see Wells Fargo as the biggest landlord in the United States.
Right.
No, they don't own anything.
Chase is the biggest landlord. They don't have to.
So that's all part of this whole exercise. And then one of the things that we do, and where the true value, in my opinion, comes in, we create first and second notes on what we wrap. So in the event that we need to get out of it, for example, you write you get a sub 2 in, you create a first and a second, instead of having a fire sale on the whole thing. Well, maybe you only have to sell the first note to get all the capital that you need to pay off the debt, right?
100%.
And at least you get to stay in the deal 20-30%, because that's still better than zero, right?
Right.
So it's
because I love your presentation, because when I first started learning about this from you, like you said, like how big was your mistake? It was like
$6 million.
Your $6 million mistake, because you didn't put those second positions.
You got to bring that up.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this perspective came, and I just want to make sure everybody watching understands that this isn't just like something to gloss over, like the first position, second position stuff. Like you learned, and obviously, like, this is the purpose of having mentors and stuff, right? You can see from previous mistakes being like, holy crap. That's the reason to put a second position loan in place, because if you ever need to sell your first position, you can, and you keep your money in the deal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't lose $6 million.
No. But it was just potential profits. Yeah.
Keep it there. And actually, at a 2 or 3X, who knows what that would be worth, right? It could be
18 million, 12 million.
It was worth no less than that amount, because that was the face value. But when you understand amortization, and you get all that interest front loaded, and it all comes in first, and you look at what the payoff is in 10 years. Just go run an amortization on $100,000 at 10% interest. The principal and interest is so unbalanced right now. It takes, this is crazy. It takes about, let's just say the payment that you have $1,000 a month payment. Okay. $1,000 a month payment. The first month is $5 principal, $995 interest. All right. Okay. And then what happens is interest gets smaller that you're paying, and principal gets larger. It takes about 23 years, depending on the interest rate, about 23 years to get to a 50-50
on a 10%.
On a 10% note. So guess what happens 10 years into the 30-year note?
Yeah. Right.
You still owe almost the same damn amount of money.
Right.
100%.
Guess what you got?
You got all that money.
I got all the interest up front.
Right. So when Will was asking, because we have another investor that works with us, he was like, well, how does our debt get paid down faster than the debt that we give to our homestead buyer? Interest, amortization schedule,
all front loaded,
on this higher interest.
And the best part about it, not only are you getting all that money up front, but your risk is getting mitigated super fast, right? Because if you're getting $1,000 a month payment and 990 of it goes to interest, well, that comes off your cost basis,
100%.
Right? So all of a sudden,
and if your cost basis is at 0%,
even better. But if you owe, let's just say you're in it for 100,000 and you wrote it and you wrapped it for 100,000, well, you get 100 years of 100% or $10,000 in interest. Now your cost basis is 90.
Right.
The balance that's owed to you is still $99,500. Another 10,000 comes off. 80, and that's how you build up the equity.
That's where that gap comes
so
from.
That's why you can build an equity position, even with paying full retail, no equity when you start.
Yep.
Just
we do that.
Man.
We have deals that have no equity. That the reason why we do these deals is because the interest rate's good on the underlying debt.
Right. I can't tell you how many deals I've done that I paid over the price because I got seller carry on it instead of sub 2, so I could extend that term out. And I'll be in a negative position on the front side, but it turns so fast.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It turns so fast because
100%.
when I'm getting zero from the seller and it's all principal pay down.
Yeah.
Just think if you're getting zero on $100,000. Let's use simple math.
And this is what I hate the most. Like, I love these deals so much. And on a 10-year projection, they're bonker deals.
Crazy bonkers.
But no one understands how good of a deal they are.
Right.
Like, so many other wholesalers or other people who are trying to get in the game are so worried about having to put a little bit more money down on the upfront. Like, Terry, when we go try to sell some of these deals that are wrap deals, is it frustrating or what?
Dude,
It's very frustrating. A
Like-
lot of people don't understand like the little pot of gold one little deal is.
We literally
You know?
just brought it to you.
Yeah.
Right. Your
Done
entry
all the hard work and they go,
is done.
that entry fee is just $5,000 too much or
Right.
something. And you're like, dude, you don't understand.
Bring them all to me, man.
You
That's
understand
what I'm
what a conventional loan at 2.7, whatever interest rate is.
Right.
And
So like, because we got a badass house in Tampa right now that is almost is $550,000 house.
Mhm.
The total entry on that deal is $50,000.
Yep.
Right, which is less than 10%. And like, it's
brand
a
new
sick deal.
house.
Yeah, it's brand
Conventional
new
loan.
conventional loan.
like 3.9 or something.
And the
interest
dude's
rate.
letting us just take it. He's walking with his money.
He's
as a part of
leaving
that entry.
$40,000 in silent second for 8 years.
Yeah, like literally sick deal. And everybody's just griping about having to like, well, I'm not going to be able to wrap. If I was to wrap it, I can only get 40,000. I may have to keep 10 in the deal. Well, maybe you do.
Maybe you have to keep $10,000 in a.
Yeah, but you can leverage that debt.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You might be -5 or 10 into the deal,
Mm-hmm.
but the deal structure yields maybe a $40,000 or $50,000 note that's
Right.
free and clear.
Right.
Well, it's not free and clear because you got 5 or 10 into it.
Right.
But when you look at the pay down on it, you might only have that money out for 12 months.
I feel like when we go to, because like we obviously can't buy every single one of these deals because we have so many of them. I feel like when we go to dispo them, we need to send an amortization schedule
100%.
when we go to
100%.
dispo them.
I think we need to put as much, we put a lot of effort into getting these deals.
Yeah.
We need to have like a sales training on how to get rid of these deals.
Right.
Yeah.
Like teach. Yeah, we have to like damn near
Otherwise,
teach
I just
everybody.
I just need to go raise more money and we buy all of them.
Hey, we can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
that solves a lot of problems because you
It
don't have
does.
to deal with the knuckleheads
Right.
Yeah.
that
Right.
don't get it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but once you understand the power of amortization,
Mm-hmm.
I joke about it. With my friend, it's not 100% true, but it is a lot of true.
Mm-hmm.
I said the reason why people are landlords is because they don't understand how to be a landlord.
Mm.
They don't know how to be the banker,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they think the only way they can get cash flow is by owning and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with tenants. When banks get cash flow all the time, they don't own shit.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not think, act, and be a bank?
Because no one ever talks about it.
Because there's not any cool
Yeah.
TV shows
Yeah,
on
there's not any
how
cool.
to be bank.
It's not a. It
You know,
ain't,
right?
Yeah.
it ain't flashy.
I don't know how, I don't know
Yeah.
how I'm going to show you an amortization table and get you all excited.
Right.
They get people
On-
at the TV
On a
being like,
Saturday night on HGTV, right?
that's just a really beautiful note. It's
Yeah.
just a beautiful
Hey,
note.
look at the font.
I
Check out
really,
this
I really love what they
Right.
did here with the font.
Wow, 7 pages.
I will
7
say,
pages.
so I'm about was the second week of me being in the office with you, Matt, when I first started about 6 or 7 months ago.
Uh-huh.
So Roger gives me a video, right? He goes, watch this video.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this guy.
Yeah.
What was
Talk,
it?
it was you.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this dude's speaking a fucking foreign language to me right now. I had no clue what he's
I
saying.
get that a lot. I don't even know what language I'm speaking.
I was like, holy shit, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was great. It was good stuff.
But
So
there's so much money just in the way you structure.
Mm.
Here's the way I am willing to wait and collect it in perpetuity over 15, 20, 30 years
Mm-hmm.
and put a little bit of money in front.
Right.
Get a lot in the back end.
But the cool thing about this stuff too is that it can work at any phase of your life, right? Because
100%.
Nick, you're at the place now where like an extra $10,000 up front doesn't really change your life, right? Where keeping that $10,000 in the deal makes a lot more sense.
Mhm.
But
with-
even if you're in a position where
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of
Yeah.
capital, right?
Yeah,
And you don't because you gotta preserve your capital stack.
right.
You got to be able to invest,
Mm-hmm.
recapitalize, right? Get it
Yep.
back and do it. But you can, but when you structure notes correctly, you can leverage that note. So
100%.
you can go,
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it
straight
can work
cash
no
flow
matter where
for
you're at in your
cash,
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Well, I'm going to be upside down $10,000
Mhm.
on a $40,000 note," well, that's not really true because I'll give you $10,000 now for the next 100 payments on it.
Right.
Right.
And you get your money now. I get the next 100 payments, and then you get the next.
Like for me,
260.
that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I couldn't imagine a better investment of my $10,000.
There isn't one.
Like
There
if I had to leave $20,000 in a deal, I couldn't imagine a better investment of my $20,000. Unless someone was like, Matt, give me 20, I'll give you 100. I promise, guaranteed.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
guess what?
okay,
Guess what? Though?
Yeah.
I'm not using you to guarantee me anything.
yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
using the property as the
asset
Yep.
itself.
The asset securitizes the debt.
Yeah,
Period.
it's the best.
Yeah.
We can go on and on
I
about
know.
that.
I'm
That
putting
is.
myself asleep. I'm getting a little bored.
But like, so Nick, just to finish this thought, you talk a lot about this. You're known as the note guy. Heck, you've done over 1,000 of these, which is insane. Like one day I hope to
That
do
just
that.
tells you how old I am.
Well, one day I hope to do that many.
Well,
You know how many
I
notes
got
you
you by
have?
20. I got you at least by 25 years.
Oh, yeah, I still got a sprint to get that number. So, I mean, that's amazing. So,
Well, you know
if
what?
people want more information on that kind of stuff, Nick, where can they like find more? I know you guys have a Facebook
Yeah, I
group.
would say go to the first thing I would say is go to Be the Bank Blueprint.
Be the is that a .com?
Be the Bank Blueprint.
Can you type that in the chat, Jesus?
Be the Bank Blueprint, and then you can
And
register, and then you can get all the stuff that Eric and I have put together.
Be
You
the
get my
Bank
deal
Blueprint.
analyzer model. You
Mhm.
can get access to our private Facebook group, which has got almost 7,000 people in it now.
Yeah, yeah.
It talks about creative deal
That's
structuring.
sick. 7,000
Yeah,
people
no, it's
doing
growing
creative deal
pretty
structuring.
good.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because everybody's like, holy crap, everything else doesn't work. And this is actually really
I
good.
know, exactly true. man.
Yeah.
And the funny part about it is that we really had to be super aggressive when the market was super seller hot, right?
Mhm.
So we had to come in and we had to buy stuff with cash
Mm.
and use hard money. And you could.
I remember that. I know that model.
and
We
you
did a
wanted to-
couple of
if
those.
You had it. You didn't. If you wanted to get a deal done,
Mhm.
you just had to deal with it. Now you have options. You have time on your side. So it's even the model is even. I didn't think it was going to turn it to be this way,
Mhm.
but actually now buying stuff. I'm glad you brought this up. So
Mhm.
right now,
Mhm.
I'm sure there's a lot of wholesalers listening, right?
Mhm.
And you've done wholesaling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Still
a
do.
year and a half ago,
Mhm.
what were you? Let's just talk about in Phoenix,
Mhm.
hot market, right?
Yep.
What were you negotiating? You know, they got this formula, MAO, whatever. I don't really.
I was negotiating happily 80 cents on the
80
dollar
cents on the dollar.
because I knew I could sell to hedge funds.
Yes. Can you
You
sell
know?
the hedge funds now?
Hell no.
Hell no. It's not just no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else can't you sell to right now?
I mean, most of your
Can you sell the fix and flippers?
most of your fix and flippers are gone
How's
unless
that
we're
burst
gonna
strategy
flip.
working out right now for most people?
Burr's terrible.
Burr's horrible right
You,
now.
you can't. It's impossible to do a burr. Yeah.
Impossible to do a burr.
Yep.
Right? 'Cause
Yep.
You can't jack it right.
Mhm.
So now, knowing that you just lost all your bread and butter on the dispo side,
Mhm.
okay?
That's why everybody's just stopped because they
Right.
don't know what to do.
So yes, so that same house you were offering 80 cents on the dollar before on,
Mhm.
what is it today?
Well, in Phoenix, now that same deal, I'd probably have to buy it like 40 or 50% because it's now worth that 80%.
So an 80% deal a year and a half ago, you're
Mhm.
negotiating at 40 to 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. We have to.
Well, if in a wholesale market you do, I don't change on the seller financing side, on the
Mhm.
acquisition side.
Oh, if I go seller finance, I can pay
No,
100%.
my point is,
Yeah.
I'm always in that 75%.
Mhm.
So when it was at 80, I had a hard time. I had to pick up my game.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to be a little more patient,
Sure.
wait a little bit longer.
Mhm.
But I'm still at 75.
Mhm.
Right.
So there's not a wholesaler in the planet that can even remotely come close.
Right. To what you
we
can
do.
do. Because
Even on the strategy, even taking it down with cash,
Mhm.
I could still
because
go
you're going to
pay.
go sell that first.
I'm going to go
so-
create it and sell it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, like, for example, we have a deal right now, Mystery Circle. It's worth about 280. We have it under contract for 167.
Okay.
So automatically, boom, I know if I bought it hard money, we could go sell first position and do
Yeah.
a seller finance.
Right now, we want to keep that somewhere around 70, 75% max.
Mm-hmm.
So take 167 and divide that by 0.72.
The ARV or
No, the acquisition price 167.
what I'm actually buying it for?
Yeah, what is that? Didn't you say it was about 167?
Uh-huh.
Divide that by 0.72.
117,000.
No, divide it by 0.72.
Oh, sorry.
So 167 divided by 0.72.
0.72, 230, 232.
Can you sell that house for 232?
Yes, 100%.
Then it's a no-brainer because what we're going to do
Mhm.
when you sell that for 232, 242, whatever it is,
Mhm.
create at first lien at
Mhm.
72% or less.
Mhm.
Okay, and we can show you how to do that, right?
Yep.
Already have. And then in this example, we'll take that 72% loan,
Mhm.
we'll sell it quickly
Mhm.
pretty much at closing, seasoned.
Mhm.
A lot of people think everything's got to be seasoned. It just
Mhm.
does not.
Mhm.
Because guess what we just did? We created a 70% note on
In
a
first
200
position on a $280,000
so
house.
if
Yeah.
I'm the note buyer, how do you think I feel by only buying 70% of the risk?
You feel pretty damn good.
Feel pretty damn good, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And guess what? You get to stay in for the other 30%. And you're okay with that, aren't you?
I'm 100% okay
and
with
you
that.
get 10% of that in the cash, and the
Yeah.
other 20%,
Yeah.
20% you carry.
Paid a team, call it a day.
Boom.
Yep. I mean, the deal even works at 185, guys.
Yeah.
We can even buy it at 185. That pays the assignment fee. We do 0.72 is 256, and the deal is worth 280. Even as is, because it's grandma's house, 256 would be good as is to sell to a seller finance buyer.
Do it all day long.
All day long.
And when the lower you can make that investment, the value.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's so much, the deal's so fat
Mm-hmm.
that you can write it at 65% first.
Just to
That
sell less in the first position.
Because you don't
You want
discount.
to keep it in the second.
Because you don't discount what you don't sell.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you write it for 65%,
Mm-hmm.
and the other 35 is cash in the second,
Mm-hmm.
you get 100% of that.
Right.
You don't discount any of it.
Right.
So the discount's only in that amount.
Yep. And so for you guys watching, like we're talking about structuring, we have a cash deal that we be purchasing. We'll have to do like probably a deal breakdown on
we'll
this.
do a whiteboard on it.
But when you sell to a note investor, you're selling a first position, they'll buy 70%, some 70, 75, whatever.
You could sell it for more.
Yeah, maybe more, but you gotta, but then they won't just buy 70% of the purchase price. They want it at a discount, right?
100%.
So they typically want that discount to be like what?
Well, the discount is determined by what the yield is, the return.
Right. Yep.
So if you go and write a 4% note on it,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to make the discount so deep to
Right.
get to the 11% yield they're looking for.
Right.
So just write it at 10 or 11 to begin with, and
Yeah,
then
call
the
it a day.
discount is a lot less.
That
That's
makes
another
sense.
huge mistake.
Yeah.
happens. So,
Bam. We didn't even
that's what
discuss
you
that.
learn in the academy.
There you
man.
go. Learn in the academy.
Come on
Right.
in.
You do the
Come
boot
on
camp.
in.
Do the boot camp.
Learn
Come
how to
on.
create notes.
I
We don't
love
have a TV show.
it. Coming soon, man.
I don't know what we do. Maybe
Right
we do it-
right
we
here
have
in
to do it as
Texas.
a cartoon, like one of those whiteboard cartoons.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
Some
It'd have
kids
to
walking
be.
down the street, big stacks of cash.
We got to come up with a new name. We got to make it exciting.
I don't know.
Note
I don't know.
investing.
I
I don't
it's
know.
It ain't gonna happen, man.
That's okay. More
Ain't gonna happen.
more opportunities
It's
for
okay.
us.
I don't need to be on TV.
More
to-
opportunities for
I don't need to
us.
be on TV to make money.
Yes, guys, we have an event we have to get to
Nice.
in about. We should probably, Mike. How long do you think the drive is going to be to get there? Probably 35 minutes.
Where are we going to Chickle and Pickin?
We're going to go chicken and pickle.
Pickle.
Huh? 44.5.
If you're
Cool.
in San Antonio, come on out.
That's
Get there
right.
About 15 minutes early, 30 minutes.
Bring
early.
your pickleball racket.
Yeah, bring a pickle. Can we get those there? You think?
Oh, yeah.
Pickleball things.
Oh, they
Yeah. Okay.
sure they have all
I
that.
got mine in my
Okay.
trunk.
Cool. You do? Let's
I do.
go.
You got your racket?
Come
Oh,
on.
man,
All
I
right,
should've kept-
guys. If you're in
Hey,
San
Jesus is my partner already. Just saying.
You
Just
got a
so-
brand new racket. I got to
Yeah.
taking a new
Trying
paddle.
to
Is it a racket or a
trying to
paddle?
trade me
I
a
think
piece
it's a
of that.
paddle. I
That's
think it's a
fucked up.
paddle.
Is it a racket or a paddle?
I'm pretty sure it's
Is
a
it a
paddle.
paddle?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't even know. I
but
just
we,
have fun
hey,
doing it.
David, we reserved what, the bowling pins or something with footballs?
Oh, let's
Cool.
go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
We're gonna
The
have
boy
fun.
drops
I got to get out there
dots,
early
by
to
the way.
stretch. I don't
Yeah.
wanna slow
Don't
it
call me
down.
Tom
Warming
Brady.
up. Warming up. Warming
Just
up.
saying.
What do
We
they
shut this
call
thing
you?
down?
What's
Ask
that?
Will
We shut this
Swelker over
down?
there.
We're about to. What do they call you, Terry?
Tom Brady. The
No,
boy
they
drops
don't.
dots.
No, he doesn't.
Absolute seeds.
He-
Not arm strength, accuracy though.
He could throw
Very
about
accurate.
20 yards in a bucket, but after 20 yards, it ain't. It ain't
How many pickup football games we won with me
Look
throwing
at-
20 yards in a bucket?
Just
And
dropping it
the
in
dump
there.
and run.
Guys, if you're in Texas and you want to come hang out with us tonight, San Antonio, we're going to be at a place called Chicken and Pickle.
Chicken and
If you want more information, we can drop the Eventbrite in the Facebook group in the YouTube channel. But we'll all be here. Nick has been hanging out with us for 2 days. He's even going to be there, hopefully playing some pickle and doing whatever else, talking about real estate, talking shop with a lot of great, amazing people. Patty's coming with her team. Mike Gutierrez coming with his team. We have a lot of realtors coming, so it's a great chance for you guys to connect with the realtors that are in our network,
Let's go.
as well as a ton of other investors you guys have already RSVP'd. So looking at it being at least a 50-person plus event.
Yeah.
So
The mullet
hopefully-
will be flowing on the pickleball court.
right. So hopefully you guys are ready for some pickle. So
Get your pickle on.
yeah.
That's it.
So without further ado,
Get you some pickle.
final thoughts, Terry.
Dude, fired up to be here. Shout out, got some medicine, got me feeling better, got me
Right.
back on the phones
Nice.
again.
Let's
Right.
go.
And it's been really cool. Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like we should do this more often.
Yeah.
You know,
Do these
just how
trips.
much traction we get when
Oh, yeah.
boots on the
This
ground
has
kind of
been
stuff.
fun.
Let's go do one in Houston and one in Dallas.
Let's
Let's
do it.
a road trip.
Let's do it. I have to get another flight out, especially for this baby comes.
So that means
I
we need
got
to
a
get-
baby coming
We
second
need
week
to
of
get at
April.
least 5 more doors in Dallas, and we need to get 5 to 10 doors in Houston, and we
Yeah.
do this all over again.
Yeah, that'd be
So
great.
bring it on,
That'd be
man.
great. Final thoughts, Trey, which we haven't had a chance to inaugurate our Freak of the Week, which is normally a segment that we do on the Freaky Friday podcast. But I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Trey myself
Let's go.
to be the Freak of the Week because he flew out from Florida short notice. I thought you were stuck in Houston, but luckily you got here in time.
Got here in time. I would have missed it for the world. But man, my thought is don't overthink it. Just do it.
Just do
There's
it.
so many options. You have so much accessibility.
Do you think you learned something by being here?
I've learned to not overthink it?
Yeah,
To
I love
just
it.
do it. I didn't.
I love it.
I mean, the deals that we did.
I learned he's
wasn't my
tall as
money.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid shit.
He's
No.
much taller in person. Everybody's this high
Wanna
on
talk about
Zoom.
my
Yeah,
height?
for sure.
You know, you ever notice that? Everybody's the same height.
About right here. That's not
Right
fair.
there.
No,
That's
but
not fair.
you know, a lot of times I talk to so many people who either have a lot of energy or a lot of money or no money, and you know, it doesn't matter. You could
Yeah.
be in any quadrant as long as you're around the right people. You
Mhm.
can get to where you need to be.
Money is absolutely the last thing you need in this business.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's very
It really,
true.
truly
The
is.
4 deals that we just
I
did,
can promise
I
you.
raised the capital for it.
Yeah,
I did none of my own money out of my own pocket.
right. And now you're gonna get paid residual on it.
and I got 4
I
properties.
know.
in
I
2
feel like the
months.
dummy. I'm over here covering the cost for running the real estate business.
Yeah.
I know.
I need to
This
change the
man
game
sits
up.
on the airplane and
I
finds
just
investors and
connect the dots.
Connect.
You
So
know,
funny story.
connects and stuff.
that's it.
We'll wrap this
love
up. So Mitch Stephen,
Uh-huh.
good friend of mine. I was just
Yeah.
on a cruise with him in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
and we were on this investor cruise, and we were both speakers on it. And he's from San Antonio.
Is it?
He's
Okay.
he's done.
I think I got his book.
Yeah, he's got a
$1
great
million
book.
doors. Or something.
thousand homes. I don't know. The
So,
name.
yeah.
I only
Yeah.
read him a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he's if you read his book, he talks about he had 50 credit cards.
Right.
50 credit cards. He bought
my gosh.
everything on credit cards with like 25% interest rate.
Making it happen.
That's how he got started.
Just doing it.
And he just leveraged it all until he figured it out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what he didn't have back then? And what I didn't have back then? This.
Yeah.
Right.
He
Community.
didn't have the
people.
community,
Mhm.
didn't have the collaboration, didn't
Mhm.
have the resources and
Yeah.
the data
Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
technology.
Right.
There is absolutely zero excuse.
Just talk
You
to
could be on
people.
a-
You did 1,000 notes working with like fax machines. So shout out.
Yeah.
That's
well,
impressive.
Zero
At
excuses.
least half of
Like
them, man.
honestly,
Zero.
Dude, back in the day, you had to go get your data from the courthouse.
that's
man.
what I'm saying.
There was no
So
batch
inefficient.
You
download.
either want
man.
to do it or you don't.
There was no batch download
Bruh.
of super
Yeah.
dialers.
Yeah.
We didn't have cell phones. We had to crank it on the dial.
That's
man.
what I'm saying. Like, what are we making these excuses? Can't do these deals.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, not at all. But Nick, thank you so much for
All right,
joining
bud.
us.
See you
Thanks
again.
for
Yeah,
one of those.
All right.
We
Let's do it. Let's
yeah,
go some-
amazing.
let's go some
We're
pickles.
gonna go to Chicken and Pickle, go hang out, guys. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Freaky Friday. As always, if you like the content here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're making a major announcement. I don't know if you saw one of our shorts earlier today. We're freaking giving away a house on the channel this year.
Yes.
So
Yes.
please subscribe. It's gonna be amazing. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.